Ian, Abbey Tool Gauge is a huge success story, isn't it? Can you give us a little bit of a breakdown of your history?
Well, initially, Joe, the business was started with my parents in 1970, Graham and Violet Reid, and thankfully they're both still with us. So started off in a small shed near Kelso Abbey, hence the name Abbey Tool Gauge. The ethos of the company was to buy the best machinery we could for the money we had, and we bought a lot of mills machines to start with, Nakamuras, and moved on to DMG Mori. So we've been going 50 years now, last April, so it's run by my brother and myself now, so we've been very fortunate to have the journey we've been through.
Yeah, and the continuing investment, it's stood you in good stead, hasn't it? You know, you remain busy, you work across many different sectors, but maybe you can tell us more about that.
Well, the sectors we cover were oil and gas, nuclear, automation, a wee bit of medical as well. So what we found is in the late 90s we were predominantly oil and gas, and we had a massive downturn, so we decided that we had to diversify the company into maybe 5 or 6 different sectors. So when one's up, some are down, and it just keeps the whole business ticking over. So the diversification was a big thing for Abbey, to move away predominantly to oil and gas.
And I understand you like to buy plant and then look to fill that capacity rather than get the work, then buy the machine.
Well, what I found when I first started the job, we were buying quite a bit of machinery, and it was a lot easier to go and see a buyer and say that I had an Nakamura sitting with no job on it. And if you were doing one hit machining with a Nakamura, you could normally win that business quite successfully. So yeah, having the capacity on site, you've got more chance to win new business, I find.
And when we talk about continuous improvements in machines, it's not just machines. I'm here today to talk to you about Rocol and how they've affected your business.
Well, I'll be honest, we were a bit sceptical first when Rocol came in and said they were going to run it in 2% because we were running the oil in probably 6 to 8%. So we thought long and hard about it, Alistair and I, and we filled 2 machines up with the product. We ran it for 6 weeks and were pleasantly surprised, if not delighted. We think it's going to be good for the environment, only running at 2%, good financially, we think there's a big saving. I'm monitoring that at the moment, and the backup we've had from Rocol, Ian and his team has been phenomenal.
That's always good to hear, you know, a multitude of benefits there. And quite often when people move across the Rocol product, there's actually improvements in the cutting process, in tool life as well. Is that something you've experienced yet?
Yeah, we've had really good feedback from the guys in production. We were a bit worried we'd do a lot of super duplex, that it wasn't going to do the business there, but it has done the business. It's been a big success on the Inconels super duplex 625, 718.
And I must admit, Abbey, it's a big machine shop. You must have 20, 30 machines in here. Normally we can smell coolant on our travels, but today you can't smell anything.
It's quite incredible because we had people in the other day and that was the first thing they said. There's no smell of coolant. We do manage the coolant very well, and Rocol come in every couple of weeks and they'll tell us where we are, but the coolant is managed to a high standard.
Ian, Abbey Tool Gauge has been very happy with the transition across to Rocol. How did you see it going from a Rocol perspective?
Yeah, it's been a great success story, Joe. It's went really smooth. We've changed all the machines, we cleaned them out and started afresh. So, yeah, really smooth. One of the better ones.
And that's a better way of doing it rather than topping up old coolant.
Depends on the product, to be honest. The particular product we put in here, we decided the best route was to clean the machines out, start afresh. There was key differences between the old product and the product that we proposed. So yeah, we took that choice.
And there's lots of advantages coming across to your product, and they're not all financial, things like environmental savings.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been chatting this door probably for about a decade now. Eventually, Ian and Alistair gave us opportunity to listen to us. I think they were a bit sceptical at first about the projected savings, but yeah, we started one machine, we trialled it, we had a message on reducing their usage, which obviously includes their spend, and reducing their carbon footprint by buying less oil and basically less waste.
And this manufacturer, they've got lots of different materials, some fairly easy materials, but equally some very challenging materials. But you've managed to find a product that works for all.
Yeah, well, you and I spoke about this before, that, you know, all cutting fluids will cut to a degree, and just finding the right one for the customer. I mean, it's a subcontract shop like this, there's obviously a multitude of materials. So, yeah, we've managed to find something that just, you know, it ticks every box. They're cutting and grinding with it. They're doing anything from cast right up to Inconel. So, yeah, yeah, you know, it's never easy, but we've managed to get a solution.
So Abbey have mentioned your service and support from Rocol. How does that work?
Yeah, so we're on a programme called UltraCare. So effectively for this account, we came in, we supported the changeover. We cleaned out a selection of machines, not all the machines. The Abbey team then took over and finished the project. Thereafter, we come in every fortnight, we're checking the machines, and we're basically looking to get them HSE compliant. That comes for this particular account, that comes as a free service.
So when we look into calculate the savings in coolant, it's not just the sump itself, is it? You know, I know you've experienced tool life savings on your cutting tools.
Yeah, historically we think we've saved between 10 and 12% on the tool life, which is massive in our game.
Yeah, you spend a lot of money on consumable carbide, so again, you know, 10-12%, less tip changes, and machines running for longer as well.
Well, we try to minimise the tip changes, even in some cases slowing the machine down to eradicate the tip change. The machine's better to run 8 hours and have a tip change at the changeover shift rather than 3 tip changes. We find we've got more volume parts for running like that.
So the actual saving in tip life, you know, tool wear, that's key.
Yeah, be thousands.
What particular product do you use?
It's a UltraCut 370 Rocol.
And you've experienced like no issues whatsoever on the changeover?
None whatsoever. It was quite hard work changing as many machines. We did it over a period of time. One of the things I would recommend is you absolutely take everything out of the machine, the sump, you run the cleaning fluids round. That was really critical. Hard work for the guys, but they got there.
And you've mentioned their service and support, that UltraCare service.
Yeah.
Just to conclude, how's that been?
That's been out of this world. Alice and I will receive a report after probably 4 hours after the engineer's been here. We know the state of every machine, and to us that's peace of mind for the company and their employees.